Uy, bakit naman hindi? Ako nga, interesado.
All the young people I meet in our country really
Grabe pala, parang taga-etibak pala.
Dito, I'm a dog lover as well as a...
Hurting the genuity of those dogs.
Good morning, mga kabiyaya. Nandito po kami ngayon with PCMVLP, tongue twister. Provincial, City, Municipal, Veterinary League of the Philippines President, Doc Mel Pescadillas.
Good morning.
So if you don't know po, each city, each municipality has to have a veterinarian. By law, first-class municipalities and cities, hindi po. And then, in some municipalities, may agriculturalist in place of a veterinarian. So the league is all the veterinarians of the LGU in the Philippines. Tama po?
Apa.
Oo.
Yung may provincial, city at municipal veterinarians, yun lang po yung regular member namin. So yung mga hindi ganon yung posisyon, they will be associate members.
Okay, so how many are you po?
More or less nasa 300. Oo. Pero yung regular na nag-a-attend sa convention, mga 170, mga ganon.
Yeah. And just to clarify, no, it's not just dogs and cats.
Yes.
It includes livestock. It includes fisheries,
Cetaceans, yeah. Lahat ng
animals. Humihinga. So, pati plants.
Hindi na po sa amin yun. Sa agriculturist na po
So,
yun.
are there cities, like you're from Bais,
Yes
right?
po.
So, you said you were 10 in your office?
Yes po. Karamihang, konti lang po yung aming permanent. Karamihan po ay mga job order contractuals po.
Oh, so do you also have agriculturalists?
Wala po.
Wala.
Ano lang po, meat inspectors, I have 2. Isang livestock inspector, isang veterinarian, yung parang assistant ko. Tapos the rest po ay drivers and veterinary aides.
Yeah. So, running a city, hindi po yan biro.
Yes, definitely.
So, it's not just tao, it's animals, it's everything in between.
Yes.
What are your highlights about the job? What brought you to do what you do?
I think what encourages me to be here is like marami kasi sa majority kasi ng animals dito sa Pilipinas, especially yung mga farm animals are owned by smallhold farms. And these smallhold farms, wala pong capacity to pay a veterinarian or a manager. So, kaya majority po ng task ng LGU vet is to cater those who cannot afford a private vet. So, yun yung, generally speaking, yun yung aming kumbaga, majority, the bulk of the workload, doon nakatuon. So, sa mga tao, sa may mga hayop who cannot afford to pay. Ganun dapat ang puso ng isang LGU vet. And then, other than that, kami din po yung nagre-regulate ng mga facilities in the local level. Kami yung nag-i-issue ng clearance. Kung may mga outbreak, kami yung frontliners. Kung merong mga emergencies, kami din yung nag-handle. Basta lahat ng hindi kayang i-afford ng isang private, ng isang farmer for that matter, kami yung nagpo-provide.
Aside from being a vet, you're also, tama ba, epidemiologist?
Epidemiologist po.
Yeah.
Yes po.
A lot of people don't know what that means. I mean, I think some have an idea because of COVID.
Yes po.
Dapat alamin natin na meron din yan for animal counterpart.
Yes po.
Oh, you wanna explain?
Actually, konti lang din naman ang veterinary epidemiologist sa Pilipinas. Isa lang ako sa lucky na nabigyan ng pagkakataon to study for free Kasi dahil sa tulong din ng Philippine College of Veterinary Epidemiologists. So, in layman's term po, ang mga epidemiologists, kami yung nag-aaral, nagre-recommend on a macro level sa isang disease situation. So, that means prevention, mitigation, control, and even other than that, sa advocacies, kami yung tumututok doon. Macro level yung management when it comes to epidemiology. So, kami yung nag-a-act as advisor. So, we use data and we use data to handle any situation po. Like what happened in ASF. So, yung mga decisions namin, ang maganda lang kung meron kang training about epidemiology, you know how to handle it na hindi lang technically, pati yung doability on the ground.
Capacity.
Tapos yung advocacy, kung ano yung advocacy component. So, kumbaga, we are strategists in any disease situation. Especially sa akin, nagagamit ko siya sa mga disease situation. And then, nagagamit ko yung training na nakuha ko to plan out before any disaster could happen.
So, mitigating.
Yes po. Prevention and mitigation po.
Oo. Always better than a pound of
Yes
cure.
po. Pag meron kang magandang foundation, maganda yung plan mo sa prevention and mitigation, sa control, madali. Hindi naman siya madali, pero hindi ka mahihirapan.
Yeah.
So, the rest will follow kasi yun yung foundation doon sa prevention and mitigation. So, you have to have a grasp of disaster management and epidemiology to manage a disease, halimbawa, disease emergency or anything, mas madali siyang ma-handle.
Yeah. And there are, I don't know the exact number, 100 zoonotic diseases, di ba, between human and man? Human and animal?
Hindi ko rin alam yung
exact number, pero
exact
madami
number.
po yun, no?
Oo. Higher majority po of yung mga infectious diseases na that affects human are coming from animals. So, hindi lang ako familiar sa exact number po.
Yeah. So this is something that people don't, they're not aware of,
Yes.
right?
Because epidemiologists po don't work doon sa media, sa mga tao. We work on the sidelines. Hindi technical, parang technical advisors kami. So, hindi mo makikita si epidemiologist na nandoon sa front line. So, pero ako, being a local government veterinarian, so nakukuha ko yun.
Frontline ka rin.
And then, at the same time, ihahalo ko yung role ko. So, kaya mas madali sa akin mag-strategize kasi nga meron akong background sa disaster management at saka sa epidemiology. So, mas madali ko siyang
Your latest
napagtagpi-tagpi.
Your latest disaster was this dolphin stranding, hindi po?
It's not really a disaster. It's like an incident lang po.
Okay.
So, it's an incident lang po.
So incident versus disaster, those are two different things.
Yes po. Medyo iba din siya. May qualification po para maging matawag natin siya na disaster. It's just an incident. So, parang isang grupo ng dolphins napadpad sa baybayin ng Bais. I thought it was just in Bais, but actually, doon lang na sensational sa Bais kasi merong isang fisher folk na nag-post sa Facebook. But within that week, marami din palang ibang shorelines ang pinuntahan ng mga dolphins. Kaya lang na-sensationalize yung sa Bais kasi nag-conduct ako ng necropsy, post-mortem examination. So, kasi yun naman talaga dapat. Kasi wala naman hindi naman natin maibabalik na ang buhay ng dolphin kung patay na siya. But at least, bigyan natin siya ng justice by doing necropsy para alam natin ano yung cause ng pagkamatay niya. So, yun lang po yung ginawa ko po.
And are you able to share the findings or wag muna?
Meron na-share, it was posted na on social sa official page ng aming Public Information Office. So, generally ang nailagay lang namin doon is may physical trauma lang sa lungs. And then that caused, parang ang findings po ay drowning, secondary to trauma in the lungs. So generally, yun po yung consistent na findings doon sa 4 na dolphins na namatay.
And I don't want to do a hypothetical, but that could be any reason why that happened, the trauma, the drowning.
So I did a little research, and then I compared it to other findings. Then nag-collaborate ako with Philippine Marine Mammal Stranding Network. So si Doc Lem, si Doc Leo, so they helped me. Sabi ko kasi consistent yung mga findings. Ako naman hindi naman ako nagmamarunong, hindi ako expert sa marine animals. So I need to consult and I need to collaborate with them kung ano yung saan nila ito nakikita at ano yung possible cause. And they told me na it could be intense sounds or disturbance or blasting, things like that, or any activities na nagbibigay ng intense underwater pressure or something like that. So as to what is the real cause, that I don't know, because it's beyond the scope of my job as a veterinarian. So ano na lang natin sa mga law enforcement agencies, Coast Guard, DENR, BFAR. Kasi ayoko din na mag-ano.
No, that's I think it's very good that you show that kind of respect and restraint and know what your boundaries are. In a way, you took down the data, and it's for somebody else to process.
And compare, maganda lang din yun kasi it will be a baseline data. So, for other, kung ano man yung mangyayari, kasi I know with the modernization that we have, I believe na merong mangyayari. Kaya lang, minsan din, natatakot din tayo na mag-open up kasi hindi tayo confident, parang gano'n, wala tayong training. But as veterinarian naman, we are trained naman how to do postmortem examination. It's just that we need to communicate with other networks, with the experts. At least it was a lesson learned for me also, and I learned a lot from that experience. And somewhere out there, marami ding experts that are willing to share their expertise. Non-experts like me.
I think that speaks a lot about your humility. We need to be humble to learn. We need to be able to be aware and care. Kasi you could have just, turned a blind eye and say, oh, well, that just happened because, no, but it's your curiosity, your intelligence. Intelligent people are curious.
Actually, the stranding happened, and then I have 2 options: to bury it, kasi that's what other people are doing, to bury it, and then take pictures, and then that's it. But for me, rather than the curiosity, alam kong meron siyang patutunguhan, and maybe it's a start of a new advocacy as well. Para yung 5 yung namatay sa amin, and then sa karatig bayan namin ay 2 din, and then meron din sa other shores. So kung bibilangin, marami siguro, hindi ko lang alam kasi hindi documented. I just decided to document it for future reference. Kasi para magkaroon ng protocol din, kasi dahil hindi natin napag-uusapan, wala ring guidelines, wala ring protocol. So, pag may namatay, okay, libing na lang natin, tapos move on na lang tayo, parang ganyan. And then, hindi nasusolve yung mystery. Bakit siya namatay?
Yeah. Well, that's also, I say curiosity, because I always find that people who are curious are actually intelligent. Because they want
Thank you.
because they want an answer.
Yeah.
They're looking for an answer. There's a question in their mind. And they need an answer to satisfy something, right? Now, it's the same thing with me. I'll give you an example. We do rescues, right? Sometimes we're called to a place. This dog that's dying, they send a video. Then I say, don't touch the dog. It looks like rabies, dumb rabies. Don't touch the dog. By the time we get there, nilagay na sa sako at dinala at binigay sa basurero. On the 4th or 5th time na nangyari yan, hinabol ko yung garbage truck hanggang Payatas. Doon ko nakita, may nagluluto na ng aso. Patay na siya. Right? So, doon ako natatakot kasi also in the butchering, in the chopping of the dog. Because are you protected? If it's rabies or not. And I know because last year, we got 9 dumb rabies dogs. 9. This year, already 2. And we're not even rescuing now as much as we did last year because we're so full. People send me the videos and I say, don't touch the dog, kukunin na lang namin yung dog. Wag nyo nang, because it's normally on weekends where the LGUs are not working. I work with a lot of LGUs. Very responsive yung mga ibang LGUs. Pero pag weekend, pag gabi na, kesa na iwanan yung... And how did I find out about the dumb rabies? Because I'm curious. Right? Oh, may ganun pala. And then it's so weird because it's totally against the stereotypical frothing in the mouth, wanting very aggressive. Mabait sila eh. Right? So, again, to get data and for somebody to process that data. Right? Like me, I'm very interested. How do LGUs really record how many do they euthanize dogs and cats? Why? It's not to make them sita, but it's to understand how many are actually surrendered. And maybe when that is understood, proper policy and ordinance, etc., can be made. But it has to be adaptive, like you said. Like you said, do we want more violators? In our conversation before, how do we draft an ordinance that is encouraging versus fault-finding?
Yeah.
How do we... So, it's a different kind of thought process. You know, I'm very interested in justice. I'm very interested in all these things. But our justice system kasi doesn't work. And talking about biodiversity and biosecurity, we're talking about ASF. I went up to Bauco, that's in Mountain Province, far away. There's a village there in the middle of nowhere. They practice their biosecurity from their ancestors. Nobody goes in, nobody goes out. Scheduled each family who's gonna butcher. Pag may sobra, there'll be somebody from outside will come ask for the sobra to buy.
Yeah. Actually, my research, I had a research. Kahit LGU vet ho, may research ako.
Very good!
So, I did my research in biosecurity smallhold again. So, hindi naman fancy yung research ko. But, yung research findings na yon, ginawa ko siya na maging basis ng plans, programs, projects, and city ordinance namin. And it was successful kasi nga binigyan din kami ng pondo ng LGU kasi database siya. So what's good is ang Department of Agriculture kasi nag-draft merong matrix how to assess biosecurity, and I want to challenge that matrix, not because I'm not saying that matrix is not okay. It is okay. It's good kasi it was developed by the Philippine College of Swine Practitioners. But based on the research that I conducted, iba yung dynamics ng smallhold eh. And then, konti lang din yung animals nila. So, we cannot apply a matrix na doable and applicable sa mga big farms na nahihirapan si farmers. Kasi nga, konti lang din yung capital nila, konti lang din yung animals nila, iba din yung knowledge nila, hindi karamihan sa kanila, hindi rin ganun ka knowledgeable enough. So we need to adjust as a government. For me as a government, hindi tayo dapat, ako, stricto ako sa regulation.
Dapat.
Kasi
I can see you. I get that vibe. Strict ka day.
I mean, I am so
No, it's-
strict. I regulate farms, I regulate. Siguro sa buong Pilipinas, ako lang yung nagre-regulate ng agri-vets.
Oo.
Kaya they are questioning, bakit wala naman ito
Thank
wala naman ito sa ibang city, bakit tayo nagre-regulate? So sabi ko, I have practical lang naman approach na we are regulating because we want to protect public health. Kasi I don't know if any of us is aware na AMR is a silent pandemic. So kaya tayo hindi...
Ano po yung
AMR, antimicrobial resistance. Is
Yeah.
a silent
Sorry kasi these city vets and these vets sa mga mahilig sila sa mga acronym. Kaya may ayan. So
AMR. So, naging interested lang ako kasi nga, 'di ba? I believe marami sa atin nagkakasakit ng yung mga common na mga diseases lang tapos hindi tayo gumagaling kasi nagkakaroon na pala ng resistance yung body natin. And saan siya nakukuha? Yun sa mga indiscriminate use natin ng antibiotics. And one major contributor of that is the livestock industry. And then kasi karamihan sa mga farmer, dahil hindi ka sila afford, diretso na lang doon sa agri-vet supply at bumibili ng antibiotics. So, stricto ako doon sa part na yon. So, we regulate meat shops. Hindi ka pwede, sa amin lang hindi ko alam sa iba. So, hindi ka pwedeng magtayo ng meat shop nang wala kang freezer. Yung mga ganon. Yung mga simple hygiene measures lang. Hindi naman siya over the top na regulation. Yung
Pinaka-basic lang.
Pinaka-basic at practical na dapat pag-inspect namin wala kaming makitang rats or langaw. Yung mga ganon lang. Ganon lang. So, stricto ako sa ganong bagay. But when it comes to regulation naman, I do consultations din na ano yung doable. Let's say in balik tayo sa biosecurity. Kung hindi naman niya kaya na magkaroon ng napakabonggang-bonggang facility, then be it. So, we will just present kung ano yung mga biosecurity measures and we let them choose kung ano yung kaya niyang implement by heart. And by doing so, kasi siya yung nag-commit, nagagawa niya ng maayos. And so far naman, dun sa mga recipients namin ng mga CABI projects namin, ay sponsored pala ito ng FAO. So, lahat naman by heart nilang ginagawa. So, it's not necessary na lahat ng nakasulat doon sa matrix ay susundin niya kasi hindi naman niya kaya. So, ano lang yung kaya niya by heart? Like, isang farm, ayaw niyang magka-ASF. What she did, hindi lang siya nagpapapasok. Isang biosecurity measure lang yun. But she protected her farm from ASF. So isang barangay, siya lang yung hindi nagka-ASF. Isa lang yung in-implement niya. Kasi sabi ko, okay, hindi ko i-depopulate yung farm mo, yung farm mo, hindi namin papatayin yung affected by ASF. Kasi napalibutan na siya ng ASF sa lahat, sa buong barangay. Siya na lang yung naisa. Sabi niya, hindi niya pwedeng i-surrender kasi pang pa-enroll ng anak niya yon. So, hindi ka ba maaawa? Sabi ko, okay, hindi namin kukunin yan. You will just sign a waiver, but you need to implement biosecurity. So, nakasurvive yung mga baboy niya by just doing one.
Talking about enrollment.
Yeah.
I'm from Batangas, Two of my friends, naghihingi ng tulong. Enrollment ng anak. Wipe out sila Wipe out.
Yeah. So, ganun kami mag-implement. So, ang tanong, ginawa ba namin yung protocol? Yes. But we need some we do some adjustment by strictly doing biosecurity. Kasi, as a local government veterinarian naman, hindi naman kami Hitler na lahat na lang.
Hindi dapat.
Hindi dapat.
Oo.
So, we need to assess. So, hindi kami dapat naka-confine sa isang sulok ng room rather than dapat nandun kami sa battleground. So, yun siguro yung, nandun kami sa battleground assessing the
Yeah,
situation.
but my feeling also is kasi maybe that's your characteristic as a person. Yung bandwidth mo
Maybe
to
po.
adjust.
Yes po.
Na it's easier to say black and black. Black is black, white is white. Diba? It's harder to say, okay, let's try this.
Apo.
Let's do this. Kasi that's also one of the reasons why madaming farms na hindi compliant. Kasi ang hirap lang talaga sundan lahat.
Yeah,
Hindi ba?
and we need to, I am so strict also with black is black and white is white. However, magkaiba kasi ang dynamics ng
Yeah, big
bawat
farm.
big farm, small farms. Magkaiba din yung sitwasyon ng kada farm kahit na pareho, kahit na magkapatid pa sila or kahit na uniform pa yung building, magkaiba pa din yung sitwasyon. So you need to assess individually. Ganun ako.
No, so in other words, not one. We still need a one size fits all, maybe on a national.
Yeah. May standard.
May standard, and then kada
Doon ka na mag-a-adjust
Dun
base
sa-
sa sitwasyon.
yes.
Kasi pag wala ding standard, hindi
Yeah, hindi rin pwede.
Hindi rin pwede. Dapat may standard pa din. So magde-deviate ka, pero dapat meron kang another, kung may kukunin ka doon, dapat may safety net ka na ipapalit. Halimbawa, in our case, wala kaming laboratory doon. So, how can we be assured na yung mga kinatay sa aming slaughterhouse kasi kami din yung nag-i-inspect. By the way, 24/7 yung operations ng aming office kahit na wala ako. So, how can we be assured na safe and wholesome? Walang ASF. So, nagra-random testing kami, tapos surveillance, tapos meron kaming, yung mga barangay, we involve them.
You have to.
Oh, we involve them.
Sila yung pinaka ano eh.
Hindi nila pwedeng i-release yung baboy kung hindi dumaan sa kanila. So may barangay para may responsibility din sila. So with that, tinanggal namin yung, kasi hindi din capable yung laboratory namin eh. But we need to have a parang traceability. So, in-involve na namin si barangay. So si barangay din, nag-i-inspect din bago siya
Uy, they like that, ha?
Nag-i-inspect din sila bago mag-i-issue ng certification, and we offer it for free. Pati si barangay, hindi siya nagpapabayad. Kasi nga, tulong ito. Hindi
Yeah.
ito negosyo.
No, well, that's what I mean. Sometimes in the discipline, there's freedom. Eh. And when you involve them, that's what they call in Latin, amor proprio. The proper kind of pride. Hindi fried chicken, pride. so yun ang nangyayari. And that's what I think I think it's because you care.
And maybe din po, pag in-involve mo kasi yung grassroots, I call them grassroots. Kasi, pag in-involve mo yung barangay captain, let's say in ASF na lang tayo. Then the moment na magka-problema, like after ASF, tapos na kami nag-move on na kami sa ASF, and then here comes the stranding. Because you build a good relationship with that barangay officials. So, alam na nila kung sino yung tatawagan nila. Alam na nila kung sino yung credible person na tatawagan nila pag may problema sila. So, it's beyond ASF, it's beyond rabies, it's beyond...
Well,
ganyan.
that's why I always like to work with the LGUs. Because at the end of the day, it's the community. And part of the community, each one has their purpose. Each one has their capabilities, talents, jobs.
Tama.
You contribute to that.
Yes. And then, when you capacitate kasi, so, di ba, konti lang yung tao ko, and when you capacitate and you empower these barangay officials, nababawasan yung burden mo sa trabaho mo. And at the same time, mas marami kayong magagawa. Kasi mas marami silang nagagawa kaysa sa'yo.
Yeah.
You are just setting the direction lang naman. Yun lang naman ang...
You were talking about your women, the mothers.
Yeah.
Why don't you explain that?
Yung sa biosecurity.
Yes.
Yeah. So, majority po sa aming recipients ng mga projects, hindi lang sa AS, mga babae. So, we empower them, and then pati din sa advocacy campaigns namin sa rabies. Ang ginawa naming partner ay Barangay Nutrition Scholars. So, parang ang iba natatawa, teka, ASF to, bird flu to, ganyan. Bakit kasama si Barangay Nutrition Scholar? It's just like, during COVID kasi, they helped me, I helped them. I was the planning section chief of COVID operations. So, parang they are returning the favor. Nung nagka-problema kami sa ASF, tumulong din naman na sila sa amin. So parang naging naging One Health approach na. So lahat ng mga disasters na po, usually po itong mga advocates namin, mga babae ito, lahat 50 of them. Babae ito, 50 of them. So they are doing mother's class. I don't know kung merong pang ibang LGUs na gumagawa nito ha. It's just that I have good relationship with the City Health Office, City Agriculture's Office, and sila parang hindi kami naka-isolate. We work together. Opo.
Naka-network na kayo.
So even if during ASF, yung DPAP team namin ay hindi personnel ni City Vet. So personnel po ng agriculture. And during the IEC, sa lahat po ng IEC namin, it's not City Vet. So I don't take credit.
What is IE?
Yung mga mothers ay ina-advocate, ang nag-a-advocate sa kanila, mga babae din, mga barangay nutrition scholars, and they educate mothers, 15 to 20 mothers every week. So, every week, iba-iba yung i-discuss nila. It's like mother's class, kwentu-kwentuhan lang.
Yeah.
And then, kaya, for such a long time, meron man kaming mga few incursions with rabies, pero wala nang namamatay na tao.
Yeah.
And that is a good, kasi parang women advocating women. Kasi ang
Yes, yes.
naiiwan naman sa bahay, mga babae naman
Yes.
So, at ito yung mga word of mouth namin. So, sa lahat ng diseases.
Mga Marites! Ginawang mong effective si Marites!
Oo, so parang lang. And then, yung mga mothers na yon, hindi matitigil sa kanila yon. Kasi, Marites nga sila. So, i-advocate din nila sa kapitbahay. Kasi yung mother's class, buntis lang po yun at saka mga lactating mothers. So, dahil naiwan sila sa bahay, so they have plenty of time to advocate.
Oo.
So that's the essence of it all. And we applied it to... So ngayon, kasi nakita namin proven and effective, so every month, iba-iba yung i-discuss ni...
That's fantastic. We should make that into like a template and
Yeah.
put it across all the LGUs.
And then, hindi na siya nagiging burden. Kasi light lang yung discussion, hindi yung extreme, highly technical na IEC materials.
Nosebleed.
Hindi. Yung mga simple lang na anong gagawin pag nakagat ka, saan ka lalapit. So kahit na may mga positive cases, madali naming nahuhuli yung nakakagat kasi nakakonect lang siya. Alam mo yung sa mga mahihirap, nakaka-relate dito yung mga mahihirap. Alam mo yung pagpunta mo sa ospital tapos ipagpasa-pasa ka sa ospital or sa DSWD or sa hindi mo alam kung saan ka pupunta just to seek help kasi nakagat yung anak mo. Ganon yung problema namin dati. So, nag-build lang kami ng strong network. So ngayon, kahit saan siya pumunta, he or she will be treated. So, pag halimbawang wala siyang pera, kung halimbawang dito siya lumapit sa amin, hindi naman namin role ang maggamot, i-refer namin siya doon sa hospital or sa city. Ngayon, kung hindi siya capable of paying all of it, i-refer namin siya sa DSWD. So, wala siyang babayaran. Kailangan niya lang sumagot ng mga questions and then kami na yung nagpa-facilitate. Kami na din yung pumuputol ng head ng aso to be tested. So, alam mo yung ganon na
Yes.
sa atin, maliit na bagay. Pero sa kanila,
Malaking
malaking bagay
bagay
na
yan.
yun. Kasi even 400 pesos, 500
That's
pesos,
big.
that's big for them. Kasi hindi nga nakakabili ng tsinelas. So, ngayon, dahil doon sa parang man-to-man na kasi sabi namin, isang buhay mahalaga. Kahit na poor piece pa yan or kahit na squatter pa yan, mahalaga yan. So, kailangan natin siyang tutukan. Kaya, by just doing simple things like that, na-solve namin yung kaso. Kasi, hindi mo naman mapipigilan na magkaka-rabies si aso Kasi, kahit na kami, kahit na ma-reach namin 90-100% vaccination rate, but other municipalities who cannot
Yes.
afford vaccination, there will always be incursions. And you cannot say na, hindi namin case yan. Kasi incursion yan.
Yeah.
You cannot say that. Kasi
No, hindi
aso
na.
have no boundaries.
Correct.
They will run. They
Unless isla.
will... Oo. And we have one isla who is negative for such a long time. Ngayon, we are working on a bigger isla sa
Oo.
TV Island. So, yung may activity
Yes,
tayo.
yes.
So, hindi din pwede na mako-confine tayo sa ganito lang. Dapat mag-i-expand din. And we
Yeah.
are expanding to other LGUs din. Kasi, whether we like it or not, matatamaan din kami pag
We're all
hindi din sila
connected.
protected. Oo, wala. No, parang no man is an island nga.
Yeah.
So, kailangan din magtulungan.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny. We're saying an island. When I was in Palawan, there's a small island not so far from the shore. The dogs swim. I have a video. So talaga, you have to be very far para the dog will not, So, okay, well, thank you so much, Doc. We'll talk again next time. Wish us luck. We're headed to the Senate to support Senator Grace Poe's new animal welfare bill, so that you understand that what we do is for the community, for our fellow Filipino, for humanity. We are not perfect, but we seek to learn from every lesson. Good or bad, there's always something to learn.
We are a work in progress.
We are definitely a work in progress. As they say, lupang hinirang. Salamat po mga kabiyaya. We'll be seeing you soon. Ingat po. Hello mga kabiyaya. We are here to discuss anything under veterinary services. Rescues, adoptions, TNVR, animal welfare, responsible pet ownerships. Anything and everything as well in between. Kung nais po ninyong magiging isang biyaya sa aming mga alagang aso't pusa, please comment below or message our Facebook page. We'd love to hear from you. Maraming salamat.